Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 3. We're now going to continue on trying to work towards our next settler, and now that this worker here has done his road there, we're going to have him build a mine. And we're going to get these two warriors over here to continue exploring the area. I think I'm actually going to send this guy over to the right, and this one over to the left. And one thing to keep in mind is that unit's visual radius is affected by terrain. So he can't, this guy is able to spot this hill off in the distance. And likewise, if we move him onto the mountain, he has a much wider viewing radius. It jumps up to 2 squares instead of 1. So when you're scouting around, it's often a good idea to jump onto these natural bumps in the terrain to increase your viewing radius. Persepolis has finished its spearmen, and at this point we're going to switch over to a settler and try to get that done as quickly as we can. The production rate of it should increase once the worker's done his mine there, and the city will produce 1 extra shield per turn. Another important concept in this game is corruption. And how corruption works is the more cities you have and the further they are away from your capital, the fewer effective cities you'll be able to build. How this is determined is, well, a number of things come into play when determining how many cities you should build. Generally, you'll only want to build a certain number of rings around your capital. So, generally, once you reach the 3rd ring of cities around your capital, you usually want to stop by that point. Mostly because you don't really need any additional cities, mostly because any new ones beyond that point won't be very helpful. Now there's a few ways to counteract large amounts of corruption. One of them is to switch governments to a more efficient one. Despotism has a high amount of corruption. Governments like democracy have fewer lower levels of corruption, and you generally have to combat corruption as much as you can, but once you get beyond a certain distance from your capital, it really becomes impossible to battle corruption any further. So you have to pretty much just live with the fact that your cities just won't be producing anything beyond a certain distance from your capital. You can also build what's called a forbidden palace instead of a regular palace, and that sort of establishes a secondary capital for you, and it acts as another major point where corruption is reduced significantly. So cities close to your Forbidden Palace will also have their corruption reduced by a fair amount. The domestic advisor warns us that our treasury is running dangerously low. This is because we built another unit, and it's put us beyond our normal unit support rate. Now, you can have a certain, for every city you have, each city you have can support a certain number of units, and if you go beyond the total amount, you are forced to begin paying gold for each of your units. Now this settler has put us beyond the maximum number that our one city can support, so we're having to pay 1 gold to support it. This won't matter because the settler will be consumed in the production of the city, but it's definitely something you have to keep in mind when you're playing this game. This warrior over here has actually found another set of a set of wines on this grassland. They add 1 gold to the square, and they're another luxury resource we can use. So we'll probably want to expand out there. Meanwhile, this worker has been working on the road to connect our 2nd city to our capital, and I think we'll plop down the capital right around here and take advantage of all this bonus grasslands we have around here. We have a fairly good starting location from the looks of it. Depends on, we seem to have a little patch of desert down here. If that extends too far, that could be a little problematic for us, but hopefully it won't be all that large. And this warrior has actually found a set of furs, which add 1 gold to the square, and are yet another luxury resource. Having lots of luxury resources is definitely a good thing. They increase your happiness in all of your cities by quite a lot. So the fact that we'll have access to quite a few of them at the start of the game is very beneficial to us, fortunately. And once we've completed this city, we're going to change its production to the square that the worker is working, so they'll get started on that right away. And in this city, I think what we're going to build, we're going to start building spearmen in this city to so it can defend itself and keep these warriors exploring around, find more territory. We still haven't contacted any other civilizations, but that's sort of a good thing at this point. The longer it takes, the further they are from us, the more land we'll have to grab at the beginning of the game. We finished researching ironworking, and with that, any iron on the map will be revealed, and we can now see it, and we'll need to get access to that in order to build our immortals. We're also going to start picking our next tech, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to start researching towards monarchy. The reason for this is it's a new type of government that will replace despotism, and it's considerably more efficient. There's a bit less corruption. You also have a different hurry method. Now, what hurry methods are is they're the way you can instantaneously complete any production in a city. Under despotism, you force your citizens through violence, I suppose, in order to complete the project, and this costs you population and lowers the happiness of the city. Under monarchy, you pay the citizens to complete the project, and and this takes gold from your coffers. Paying citizens is quite often a better way to go about it, I feel. And in addition to that, we have a higher military police limit, which means that happiness generated by units stationed in garrisoned in a city is increased, and it's also able to support more units per town, city, and metropolis. Furthermore, the production problems in despotism, in which you weren't able to gain the full access of all of our squares, like this one here. It should really be producing as much as 3 food when it's only producing 2. Those sorts of problems are also eliminated. So it's definitely a government we'll want to switch over to as quickly as possible. This worker here has finished his road, so we're going to have him build a mine and make our new city of Pasargadae more efficient. And if we look over here, we actually see that this spot has a source of iron, so we're definitely going to want to expand out to there. We're just going to keep our let our cities continue to grow, and this warrior has also found a set of incense, which adds 2 gold to the square, and is yet another luxury resource. So this has been a very fortuitous start so far. Hopefully it'll continue to be. That desert seems to extend quite a fair distance, but with all these other things we found, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And I'm seeing lots of really good spots to plop down cities. You want to make sure your cities are at least a little bit further apart to make sure that they don't steal each other's squares. And over here we've actually found a source of ivory, which is yet another luxury resource. Luxury resources tend to be more squished together on tiny maps like this, so we're able to find them a lot more easily than we would if it was a larger map. So I suppose that's also another good thing about smaller maps that I never really considered before. Anyway, Pasargadae is going to be expanding soon, so we're going to want to develop another one of its squares in order to get its production up, so we'll work that one next, and then I think we'll pick up the dyes we have here in the forest. We don't need the dyes just yet, just because our populations are so small. Happiness isn't really a problem. Happiness only really becomes a problem once your population starts getting too large. Down here we're finding there's the starts of a jungle. Jungle is a very bad terrain type. It tends to harbor disease, which has a chance every turn of reducing the population in your city. Disease can also be found in floodplains, but floodplains are otherwise a very good square type. Jungle is also very unproductive, producing only 1 food and nothing else, and they take a very long time to clear with workers. I think it takes us about around 4 times as long to clear a jungle as it does to clear to clear a forest. So jungle is not a very good resource type, terrain type at all. So you want to try to avoid it whenever you can. So we probably won't be extending very far into these